We're just two guys with one mission, and we've chosen to accept it for some reason. It's time to tell them what we mean, what we say.
Hello.
Hi.
We just watched The Beyond.
Yes, we did.
Which is an Italian movie by Lucio Fulci from 1981.
And it was amazing.
And it was amazing.
It was amazing.
Not my first viewing.
My second, I think.
I'm probably gonna gush a lot about this film.
Yeah, rightly so. It's a fucking great film.
So we should go through the plot.
There was a plot.
There was a plot. I wrote the story down. So we open up and it's oldie times sepia New Orleans, and some guys are in a boat.
Yes.
And they're heading to this hotel to get this guy, and they're really going to fuck him up for being an ungodly warlock. And it's pretty violent.
Yeah.
They crucify him, they throw lye on him and melt his face. Oh,
They beat him with chains.
They beat him with chains, like hammer nails through his wrists.
God, that's horrible.
And then the movie just kind of starts.
Yeah.
So now it's 60 years have passed.
Yes.
And Liza, the girl, McCall girl, has inherited the hotel. And she's got guys working on it.
Yep.
And one of the guys sees some blind eyes, like some freaky eyes.
Yeah.
We don't know they're blind yet, but they're blind in
through the window, like cataracts.
Yeah, like cataracts, and then falls off.
Comically
falls off a high ladder, and because of this accident, she gets to meet Dr. Handsome. Yeah. Dr. Handsome is a handsome guy. He's a doctor. He's a doctor, and he's into science. And he doesn't believe in superstition.
Nope. He doesn't take none of that guff.
And he gets along with Liza because she doesn't believe in ghosts either. Because she's from the city. She was from New York or somewhere like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And now she's in New Orleans.
Coastal elite.
Coastal elite, mate.
Pricks.
Yeah, because that's what New York was like in the late 70s.
Not a rancid hive of shit.
Of junkies and the kind of people who would be in an Abel Ferrara movie. So, after she meets Dr. Handsome, Joe the plumber comes along to fix the pipes.
He's cool.
And he's cool, Joe the plumber. He's like a man's man.
Yeah.
Now, there was a bit I wanted to discuss here.
Okay.
There's a housekeeper and her son. I can't remember the name of the housekeeper,
yes. Okay.
but the son's name is Arthur. And Arthur asks, "Is Joe here?"
Right.
And I felt like there was an implication that Joe might be his dad.
Okay.
I don't know why, I got this feeling. It's never mentioned or there's not a thread that goes anywhere, but it's something I noticed on this watch, so there was kind of like, oh, it's Joe, and then he gives a funny look.
Okay. Maybe he just likes hanging out with Joe the plumber.
Because Joe's a cool guy. He's got a cigarette. He's got a cigarette you can bum off him if you want.
He's got a big Rob Zombie beard.
Yeah, big Rob Zombie beard. He looks like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. And Rob Zombie's Halloween and Rob Zombie's Devil's Rejects. Yeah. Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses. Rob Zombie's
some other piece of shit. Lords of Salem.
I like Lords of Salem, but that's like
oh shit, that's a tangent.
Yeah, there's a tangent. But it's his Ken Russell movie.
Yeah, but it sucks balls.
Yeah, but I think it was so bad that I liked it. Anyway, we're getting off topic.
Sounds like you.
So Joe goes to fix the plumbing because there's water all in the basement of the hotel. Like, how did that get there?
I don't know. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows, but it's there.
There's no water in the taps.
There's no water in the taps.
But the
basement's flooded. Oh. It makes no sense.
What is the deal with the basement flooding?
I don't know. But then something comes out of the wall and gets him and fucking takes his eyes out. Yeah. And it's like really, really violent.
Gouges like a motherfucker. So well done.
Now, the caretaker lady, when she's going to look for Joe, because everyone's like going, where's Poochie? She finds Joe's dead body
Yes.
And then another body floats, rises from the depths of the watery basement.
Yes, and we're still unsure as to whose body that was.
Now, Liza at this point has met this blind woman on this very strange, dreamlike road. This very empty road with, like, epic water, all of that. It's very sparse and empty place. And she's
like the bridge out of True Lies.
Was it the bridge out of True Lies?
No, because I think that's somewhere else. I think that's in Florida.
Okay.
And they're in New Orleans.
They are New
Orleans.
Nola. To get a cocktail. Sugary cocktail. But Emily, the blind lady, tells Liza she's got to leave.
She's got to leave.
You got to get out of there. It's not safe. But she doesn't tell her why.
No.
Later, at the hospital, Joe's wife is dressing him.
Yeah, right.
After he's been sewn up by the doctor.
Yes, with string apparently. Not
With string.
Not with sutures.
Well, you know, it was the 80s. It was in New Orleans.
I still don't think they were using string to sew people up.
Well, if it's the only thing you had. What are you supposed
in a
to
hospital.
do? In a hospital. I mean, not a lot of people work in this hospital, so...
No, you never do see any other staff.
Well, there's the orderly pushing the body.
The incredibly loud
body.
fucking trolley. Jesus.
And then Joe's daughter is waiting in the hallway.
Is that who she is?
Yes, this is Joe's daughter.
This
is what I'm thinking. There's like a
little ginger lass.
I'm going to get back to this later of how this how I feel this ties in.
Okay.
But there's the little young lady, and she hears her mother screaming.
Yes.
And then she runs into the room where the body of her father is, and she sees her mother's face being melted off by chemicals.
Yes.
For some reason.
Which just happened to be in a glass bottle with no lid on it.
Yeah,
on the top
there's
of some
just like
shelves.
some really weird supernatural stuff happening in this hospital.
That face melting is amazing as well.
The face melt is really good. Now, at this point, Liza and Dr. Handsome are having a drink in a bar, listening to some jazz.
Yep.
And he goes, "Oh, I never heard of the housekeeper and her son Arthur. I wonder what's going on." And as he mentions again, he knows everybody.
He knows everybody.
He knows everybody.
Everybody.
He knows. So I guess he knows us.
I assume so. He knows everybody.
He knows everybody.
I think he knows you.
He probably Dr. Handsome knows you.
He knows everyone.
At Joe the plumber's funeral,
yes,
it turns out
of his body.
that the little kid, Joe's kid, she's blind now.
She's got the cataract
eyes.
Yeah.
Now Emily meets up with Liza and says, "Oh, why didn't you leave? All this bad stuff's happening." And she starts explaining the story of what happened in the hotel. And Liza's like, "Oh, I don't really believe this stuff. Like, this is crazy."
Yeah.
But then Emily, the blind lady, touches this painting.
Yeah.
And her hands start bleeding. And then the buzzer for room 36 goes off.
Again.
I'm not totally sure what happens. Emily just runs away.
Yeah, she literally runs away, and they show it like 4 times. They keep cutting back to just a shot of her feet running out of the door.
Yeah, but it's like there's obviously something spectral about Emily at this point.
Yes,
like there's something very, very strange. Lisa goes up to room 36 to investigate and finds this book called Ibon.
Yes.
And then, when investigating the room further, she sees a crucified corpse, like rotted corpse, on the wall. And then all of a sudden, Dr. Handsome is there.
Yep, and no corpse.
No corpse. So Lisa's like, "Oh no, it was just dark, it was lightning, I guess I was like seeing stuff." But then when she's walking around, she sees the Book of Ibon in a bookshop, and she meets a creepy guy who must be reading like a Charlie Brown comic or something like that.
He's having a right little chuckle to himself.
He's having a right little chuckle to himself when he's like...
He's loving whatever he's
But
reading.
when she goes into the bookshop, the book is gone.
The book is gone. It's a different book.
Now, Liza has a man who is helping like renovate the place. What is that job called?
He's whatever the version of an interior decorator would be for the entire building. He's making blueprints.
Does it disturb you that we're around 40 and we don't? We're both around 40 and we don't know the name of this job.
Why would we? Neither of us owns houses that we have blueprints or plans.
Sure,
for.
but you think we'd come across this at some point?
Surveyor. Maybe?
He's not a surveyor though, is he? He's
well, he's drawing the blueprints and shit.
Yeah, but he's trying to... What the hell's that called? Anyway.
I think we're getting held up on
We're getting held up. Anyway, whatever that guy is called, he goes to look for the plans for the basement because it's flooded and he's saying, "Oh, well, you can put a kitchen down there."
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know why, like feed
Maybe
people
a laundry
or whatever.
room.
Laundry room, yeah. And Lucio Fulci has his cameo.
Yes.
Now Lucio Fulci wants to go for lunch, and he's like, "Oh, you just look at the you look at the books. I'm gonna go eat a lot of food." Which I've been to New Orleans, and that's what I would do.
Yeah.
I ate really well in.
Did
New
you
Orleans.
have a happy lunch?
Yes.
Good.
Yes, I did have a happy.
Did somebody
lunch.
wish you a happy lunch?
No one ever.
well.
No one has ever wished me a happy lunch ever.
Oh, well, fuck that place then.
I think someone tried to translate bon appetit and wished me like happy eating,
Happy eating.
but I don't think anyone's ever wished me a happy lunch.
Yeah.
And they should do, because that's a good thing to wish upon someone.
Yeah, why not?
It's like better than have bad lunch.
Yeah. Hope your lunch is shit. Eat shit for lunch.
Eat shit, bad lunch, bastard. Anyway. I can't believe how far we got. So he climbs up a ladder, and then he falls off the ladder, and then his face gets eaten by spiders.
Yeah. Yeah, in a fucking creepy scene. Tarantulas and some fake spiders.
Yeah, and so it's, to be fair, it was mostly the fake spiders doing the damage.
Yeah.
But there were real spiders there as well.
Yeah, it was horrible.
And then when the spiders have had enough, because they get bored and just kind of wander off,
I'm full. I've had a happy lunch.
the plans with the basement mysteriously vanish.
For no reason.
So Dr. Handsome goes to find out about this Emily woman, because he's never heard of her, and he knows everyone.
He knows everyone.
He knows everyone.
Everyone.
He knows Barack Obama,
Yeah.
and he knows...
William Shatner.
yeah, and he knows... let me get one.
Joe the Plumber.
Yeah.
Thor.
Thor. Christopherson.
Yeah. Eddie Vedder.
And Julian Sands.
Everybody knows Julian Sands. God.
Oh, God. But when he goes to Emily's house, he sees that it's been abandoned, but he finds the Book of Ibon.
He does.
And then he reads it. The housekeeper, in the meantime, has gone to clean up room 36 now that it's open, and there's bathtubs full of grime.
It is gross.
And then when she tries to clean the bathtub, guess who comes out?
Guess who?
It's Joe the Plumber.
Joe the Plumber.
He's back.
He's back, baby.
He's back, and he...
More Rob Zombie than ever.
He's more, yeah. He's more the devil's corpses than ever. The devil's Halloween 3 than ever, and he shoves her head on a spike, on a nail in the wall, and her eye pops out.
Her eye pops out.
And that's she's done.
I didn't see that coming.
She's done diddly on for.
Yeah, I saw the head being smashed onto the spike coming a mile away, but the eye popping out.
Yeah, the eye popping. There was a cherry on the.
That was the
walking. Then Dr. Handsome goes to visit the hospital, and he examines the corpse they found at the beginning, and he notices that it's got like the mark of Ibon on the corpse, and he goes, "Oh, that's strange."
Yes.
Then we cut to Emily's house, and she starts getting visited by all the zombies that have been created thus far. And then she gets eaten by a dog.
Yeah, she gets the throat ripped out.
Yeah.
And her ear bitten off.
But she's always yelling, "Oh, I don't want to go back."
Yeah.
So she's obviously some kind of supernatural entity.
She's from, perhaps, beyond?
She's from the beyond.
But she also keeps screaming after she's had her throat ripped out.
Yeah, it's like it's an inconsistency, but it's also pretty rough. So
Yeah, it looks amazing.
then everything in the hotel is going crazy. The bells are ringing. Liza is in the basement, and she gets attacked by Arthur.
Yes.
It was very unclear whether he died or not, but I guess he's
I'm
a
pretty
zombie
sure he
now.
did, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't remember seeing it. So
No, but he didn't say anything and he was just going,
yeah, here's the thing. He attacks Liza, and then when she's trying to escape, she runs into Dr. Handsome again.
Yes.
And then they escape to the hospital,
Because,
and then he tries
because
to...
they only had 2 locations.
Yeah, then he tries to... then Dr. Handsome tries to call the FBI,
Yeah.
and then boom, zombies attacking.
Zombie
everything.
everywhere.
Wasting loads of bullets, shooting them in the arm, wasting loads of bullets, like shooting them in the
stomach.
chest,
Yeah.
and then he realizes that you got to shoot him in the head.
Yeah.
And then he runs into his friend, who weirdly gets killed by exploding window, which
Yep.
is completely random.
Yeah.
And then they run into a little girl, who then turns out to be a zombie, and then gets her head blown off.
I must have missed that bit.
You saw there was the one Giant head, the head exploding.
I wasn't sure who that was.
Oh. That was the little girl, the little blind girl.
I must have tuned out for a second and I didn't realise that's who that was.
Okay, there was a lot going on.
I'll
give you. And then they managed to escape down some stairs, and then they end up in the hotel basement.
Yes.
And the further they go in, then they realise they're in another world.
Yes.
They've crossed the veil, and then they go blind.
Yep.
And then the film just kind of ends.
So I'm guessing that's them descending into the beyond, which I'm guessing is hell.
Yeah.
Actually.
This
is all about the seven.
Yeah,
seven
the
keys to
hotel
hell.
was built on one of the 7 doors to hell.
Yeah.
Was it the gates of hell?
I think it's the 7 gates.
Yeah, the 7 gates of hell.
Which the artist opened, hence why the hotel is...
He opened the one in the hotel.
Yeah.
But it's very clear that from the very beginning, the supernatural stuff is almost instantaneous as soon as Liza moves into the hotel.
Yes.
And so there's some very strange stuff going on almost immediately, and then it just gets crazier and crazier and crazier and crazier until like all logic has like disappeared.
Yeah, completely.
And they've definitely crossed over. But I kind of normally when I see these kind of movies where like reality is slipping away, there's a turning point. Like there'll be a moment where something happens, and that's the beginning of the sweater starting to unravel.
Yeah, I mean something like Amityville Horror, where it's just like it's normal, and then it switches and everything starts going.
Yeah, and then it starts ramping up. But the craziness
this just starts from the get-go.
There's the seed, I guess. As soon as the guy falls, that's the first supernatural thing. But that's almost immediately,
that's
into
almost the
present
first
day.
scene of present day. Yeah, which is great. That's how it should be.
Yeah, there's very little fucking around.
Because I already know what normal life is. I don't need to see half an hour of that before shit starts going weird.
Yeah, I think it's a thing, and then by the end, it's just completely crazy.
Yeah, completely mental.
Basically, this film is a masterpiece.
Yeah,
and probably. While it's not my favourite Lucio Fulci movie, it's probably, I'd say, it's definitely the best of his zombie films, if not one of the best of his movies overall.
Ooh, bold claim. I mean, my favourite Fulci movie is a zombie Fulci movie. And it's not this one. Which we will get to.
Which we will
last film.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's phenomenal. Like, things like, shot composition, lighting, just everything looks beautiful.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous. The music's fantastic.
Yeah.
I had a thought which I'd never had before, is do you think the little girl and Emily are the same person? Because they look very similar.
They do look similar, but I mean, there's nothing in the movie that would imply that.
No, but I'm just wondering because
plus they both exist at the same time.
But
so
one of them is not real.
Like,
one of them is a spectre.
You're saying Emily's a spectre?
Emily is a spectre. She doesn't want to go back. She's a ghost.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think because they exist in spectral form and human form, but at the same time, it would be weird that she was an older version of herself existing in spectral time at the same time as the younger version of herself. I think it's weird that they both become cataracty.
They're both cataracty. They have similar hair colour. Like, you could, if someone told me, like, oh, Emily is just grown up, Joe the plumber's daughter, I can't remember her name, like, they said, oh, that's just her grown up, like, because she aged in hell.
Yeah.
And also, like, at what point...
Is she coming? But then, surely the point would be she was coming back to warn her younger self, but there's no interaction between the two of them.
Maybe they can't maybe she can't interact with her younger self.
Butterfly theory.
Is that the butterfly theory?
Well, if you... Well, I don't know, is it?
No, I don't think it is at all.
Well, it was the time travel paradox.
Yeah, it's the paradox. It's a time travel paradox. We're having a time travel paradox conversation about the beyond. This is like a very important...
Yeah, I don't think it is, though.
And what do you think the implications between the housekeeper and Joe the plumber are? Like, it feels like there was like more of there was a story there that they never explored.
Possibly, but then it's also never explained why Dr. Handsome has never seen the cleaner or her son.
He'd seen the cleaner.
I thought he said that he'd never seen them.
He'd not heard of them before.
Okay.
He'd never heard of them, and they came with the hotel.
Yeah, but he knows everyone.
Yeah, but he knows everyone. And he's a man of science. He doesn't believe in superstition.
But if they came back from the beyond because they came with the hotel, why aren't they cataracty? Because that seems to be the thing.
Maybe that's why we never saw... But then she died. But then the mum died.
Yeah.
Joe kills her. But we never see Arthur, the son, being killed. This, you see my dilemma. It's just
Does he kill her, or is she...
Well, we see him in the... in the basement with what looked like a doctor's suitcase full of cement.
Yeah.
Trying to patch up some drywall so he can hang up a picture, like one of those Live, Laugh, Love.
Yeah. Magic Eye.
Magic Eye. Whatever was popular in the 80s. Pepsi commercial, perhaps. We don't know, but we didn't see him die.
No.
I guess there's actually a lot of unanswered questions.
There is, but I kind of like that about it.
Yeah.
Because it shouldn't have to dole it out to you completely. I mean, that ending, I still don't understand the ending.
Yeah, well, let's unpack that. I think
Because it's not like they died and then they ended up in the Netherworld.
No, I think that they've reached a point where the Netherworld and reality are coexisting.
So is that the same all over the world, or is it just for them too?
It seems like it's just for them too.
Okay.
Because they descended, like, the reality is shifted to the point where hell now imposes their physical space.
Right. Okay. And do you think? So you think it's?
And then
so you think it's a physical thing, not a?
Well, it's a metaphysical thing. It's like hell has basically been unleashed from beneath the hotel, and then start to encroach on reality to the point where they descend the staircase. They're like, "Oh, this is impossible. How can we be here?"
Okay.
Then when they turn around to go back to the staircase is gone because the underworld has taken over this space.
So do you think it's that they've physically gone there, or that they psychologically gone there?
I don't think there's subtext in this movie.
Okay. Maybe I'm giving it more credit than it deserves. But
I think they're literally there.
Okay. Cool. Okay, I'm happy with that. It's just again, because it's not explained. It's just like kind of what?
Yeah, I mean that's just my interpretation of it, having just seen it.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'll watch it in another few years and I'll have a completely different take on it.
Yeah, because my take was slightly different. I thought it was more of a kind of psychological. They've crossed over into mentally into this other realm because they believe from reading the book and everything like that.
So you think like the series of events kind of like was forcing them to believe in the book. So actually, it was their reality was changing internally.
Yes.
Rather than externally.
Yeah.
That's a good take.
Thanks. And so by the end of the film, they've been completely taken over by it.
Yeah, because
they now exist in their heads in this netherworld. Because they just descend into the basement, and I think that's them just descending into madness, essentially. And then they find themselves, there's no way out, the door's gone.
And their sight's gone.
There's no way out, their sight's gone, and they're just mentally gone.
That's a pretty good interpretation.
Thank you.
I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that at all.
And I've only seen it twice.
Yeah.
I was drunk off my ass the first time.
All right, so should we do the scores?
Yeah, sure.
All right. For the story, what would you give the story?
The story, I think, it's good. It's not super intricate. And again, it's open to interpretation, which I like. So 3.5 or 4. I'm going to go 4, actually.
I'm also going to give it a 4 because I think it's really original, but at the same time...
It never descends into wacky, which I really like.
It's like...
It could quite easily have gone that way.
Not for a Fulci is not really wacky.
No, but a film like that's dealing with, zombies and headshots and all that kind of stuff. It could quite easily, like Dawn of the Dead has got those wacky elements to it. And it never devolves into that. It's taking itself seriously all the way through, which I really like.
I'm giving it a 4. I would give it a 5, except I feel like there's actually more story there than was actually told in this version.
Okay.
Like, if someone was going to remake it, please don't.
Do not do that. You will ruin it.
There is probably more story and more of these threads that I picked up on that could be tied up in it.
The backstory of Joe and the kid and all that kind of stuff.
Some things that maybe are not in my imagination. Okay, for gore.
It's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, the gore effects are fantastic.
The eye popping, the gouging, the fucking nails through the wrist.
Yeah.
The glass in the face. I have an issue with the tarantula face eating scene because that's not how faces work. All spiders. But it still looks fucking brilliant. Like the inside the mouth shot, where you got like the rows of teeth.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, 4.5.
You were going to give it
because a 4. Because I think there's going to be something better along the line, so I don't want to go all out 5 right now.
I think there's some bits that look kind of...
Because the thing is, at some point...
There's bits that kind of...
We're going to get to like Evil Dead, which is better, gore-wise. Because it just goes for the fucking...
Well, I haven't seen Evil Dead in a long time, so it's going to be difficult for me to say, but I would almost certainly... I give it a 4 because there are bits that definitely look of the time.
Yeah, absolutely. But then, you look at movies that came after these, like, again, a lot of the, like Friday the 13th and stuff like that, where the effects aren't nearly as good.
My gore high point is Day of the Dead. That's like what I think is like what I would consider some of the best gore effects in cinema history. That and The Thing.
Oh, gotcha.
But I would also say Day of the Dead like tops it because it's like really horrible.
Yeah.
This is like everything looked great except for one or two effect shots where it was like really okay. That's not great, but like when it being whipped by chains in the face was these are like really great effects. These are really great effects. They're done really well.
Good.
Overall creativity.
4. It is. It's an original story. I think the way it's told is really interesting because again, not everything's laid out for you. You come away with questions, which is great.
I'm going to give it a 5.
Ooh.
Which is very rare because I like the way it looks. I like the way it's told. I like the atmosphere. I think it's like it's over the top in the right places and understated in the right places. It's like I really think so. Actually, I'm giving it a rare 5 out of 5.
Nice.
Okay. Logical sense. Logical sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's witchcraft in it, so it makes no logical sense. Depends if you believe in that kind of crap, I suppose. I do not. I am corporeal. I believe in things I can touch and feel, and witchcraft just smacks of...
Well, I think I meant what did the movie make sense to?
Yeah. Within itself, yeah.
I think this is kind of the misnomers, though, because it kind of... It doesn't make sense because it seems like a lot of stuff happens for arbitrary reasons.
Yeah.
But it kind of hangs together, like more than the Beast in Heat.
Oh god, yeah.
Because the Beast in Heat doesn't.
I was just like, what? Why?
Like why?
Why is this happening? Yeah, within the boundaries of the movie itself, yeah, everything does tend to happen for a reason, even if you're not sure what that reason is at the time.
Well, I'm still not sure of some of the reasons. I think there is a logic there, but it's not a very... I think there's some artistic license going on with the kind of the narrative logic.
Yeah. And certain things, just like, why is there a jar of face melting chemical...
like this stuff like this.
With a top off on the top of a set
why
of
is it... Yeah. So what would you give it?
Well, now that we've done that, I guess 3, because it's kind of, it is logical to a point, but not...
It's logical to itself.
It's not A to B to C to D.
But it's not like...
It takes a windy road to get there, but it does, by the end of it, it does hang together.
Yeah, it hangs together.
Yeah. So I would go, middle of the road then.
I'm gonna do middle of the road 3 as well. Yeah, it hangs together despite the flaws in its sense.
Yeah.
Okay, the music. I think it's pretty clear I'm going to give this a 5 because I think it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my bag, but for what it is, it's fucking fantastic. I mean, it's not fucking Dawn of the Dead, but it's in that style. So I get 3.5.
Yeah.
And that's mostly only marked down because of personal taste. Because it's not... I don't put it on to listen to it at home, whereas you do. Yeah,
I mean, I think it's one of Fabio Frizzi's best. It's not my favourite, but I think that movie with a different score would be very, very different.
Yeah. Yeah, if you went all orchestral, it would be super creepy, I think. But with that kind of, 70s...
Yeah, it's kind of makes...
Just like
makes it this kind of like...
It's kicking along.
This semi-orchestral disco funk, disco rock funk soundtrack thing. It's like...
Prog noodling, as I call it.
Prog noodling,
noodle.
All right, the next question. Should it have been banned?
No.
No, absolutely no way. No. It's like, I think it's like...
And there's nothing gratuitous to it.
Well... The violence is a little bit...
But again, should it have been banned? No. Should it have been an X? Yes. At the time, I guess X is what it would have been. But banned, no. There's nothing nasty or mean-spirited or anti-anybody.
I think you could argue that this is artistic.
Absolutely.
And I think that would be my definition of like... I'm sure I could come and see some things that I go, should people legally be allowed to see this? But in the case of The Beyond, 100% absolutely no way should it have been banned. It's a piece of art. It's not art for everyone, but I think people could get a lot out of it other than just going, ugh.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I think there's a lot to unpack. I think it's one of Fulci's masterpieces.
Yeah. I 100% agree with that.
And would you recommend it?
Absolutely. In a heartbeat.
Yeah, like
Not even just to horror fans.
yeah, I would
I would recommend it to people who like good movies.
Yeah, people who are interested in cinema, not even big horror fans.
Yeah.
There's likewise. I would just say, hey, you should really see The Beyond. It's like it's really fantastic.
Atmospherically,
watch it with some friends.
Yeah, get a couple of drinks and be like, oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah, watch it with some friends. Eat some mushrooms.
Don't do that.
Okay, and for a total score of 40 out of 50.
Wow.
This is like a high scoring movie.
That's going to be tough to beat.
I think it will be tough to beat.
Yeah.
But there are some real classics coming up.
Yeah, but I can already see,
It's going to be a tough one to beat.
Yeah. And, I mean, I can already see one of my favourites getting marked down heavily on the score.
Well, I guess we'll see
what that
one is when we get to it. Okay, that's it. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Love you. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. No, you hang up.